Know what I meant. This morning, we discovered the past, present, and future of vegetable and crop food production at a brand new interactive display at the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum. Here's our garden guy, Dale Kay, with more.
G'day everyone. This morning we are at the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum. Oh, look at that green bean. We are at a brand new exhibit called Farm at the Arb, and it's been a fantastic week, a little ripper of a week for these folks, because last week Friday they opened everything for the first time in the season, and this is a brand new exhibit. Joining us this morning is the director of the Arb, Peter Moe. Peter, tell us a little bit about Farm at the Arb.
Well, I'm happy to do that, Dale. It's great that you're here today. This is an exciting project. You know, the Arboretum has always been the site for U of M research in apple breeding, grape breeding, trees and shrubs, and all those horticultural crops, but not so much with the food crops. But now the Arboretum has had this farm site for years. It was a 67-acre dairy barn, dairy farm with a beautiful barn. And so now we're able to talk about all the U of M research that takes place in developing new varieties of crops that are pest resistant, maybe new crops entirely, different ways to grow crops to protect soil and water, working with many of our partners at the U of M and some of the commodity groups that are all working towards clean water and more food. And consumers are really interested. They want to know what crops look like. They want to know how their food is grown. And this is a place to get science-based information in a great setting. It's really attractive and beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. I guess one thing is, and I know from experience myself, a lot of you started growing your own food this season, maybe on a small scale, maybe on a larger scale. If you're having problems, this is a great place to come and interact with those folks and learn a little bit, learn how to garden, I guess.
You know, that's right. And this has been a terrific year for vegetable gardening. We're next to the cultural garden here. This is going to be switching every year. Could be mung vegetables next year, African vegetables the following year. But this year, these are all crops that when African Americans in the middle of the last century were moving from the south to factory jobs in the north, they brought their vegetable crops with them. Things like collard greens and okra. I had to look at some of these and try to figure out what they were, because I've never gardened in the south. But it's very cool for people to learn that, and certainly a lot of people in Minnesota are growing these crops in their backyards right now, and more people. There's been a huge interest in vegetable gardening. So we have both this really cool cultural garden. Behind me is we're doing agricultural training. We have people that started last winter learning the science of horticulture, how to do a business plan, and then they are able to work right here in this really great vegetable garden, and they're very successful. The crops are thriving. They're learning all the different steps of planning, marketing, and growing all the different crops.
Yeah, it's truly fantastic, I guess, in the respect that there's a lot of research, or this is the product of some great research, plus really interactive with, folks at home coming through the Landscape Arboretum. You said it was an absolute bang-up crop. I'm just going to come back to these green beans. By crikey, look at that. I had to sneak in a little bite. Nothing better than fresh green beans. Now, of course, this is a brand new exhibit. A lot of great stuff going on here. Again, you access it via the 3-mile drive. Again, the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum is open, so come on out. It's a great resource and a great place to hang out on a beautiful day. Back to you.
Yeah, very nice. And of course, you take a little taste like that, you got to do some weeding to pay for it, Dale. So get weeding. Everything Dale talked about this morning is on our website, fox9.com. Click on the Morning Show tab, then on our pal, the Garden Guy.